beloved chosen one. Listen, this moment is not random. Heaven has paused everything around you because the voice of God is breaking through your noise. You were not supposed to hear this by chance. You were led here. You were summoned here. This is not content. This is a calling. Heaven is whispering one urgent command: stop before it's too late. You can feel it deep inside. Something sacred stirs in your chest. You've been restless, searching for peace but running from obedience. Every time you ignored that inner tug, the weight grew heavier. Heaven has been speaking in dreams, in delays, in closed doors, but you called it coincidence. Yet right now, in this holy interruption, God Himself says, enough. There are seasons when heaven no longer whispers, it shakes. You've entered one of those seasons. Everything that once satisfied now feels hollow, because your spirit knows you were created for more than survival. You were created for purpose. But purpose cannot bloom in rebellion. God's love is calling you back before mercy turns to silence. You've been walking too close to the edge, convincing yourself there's still time. But time is not yours to negotiate. You can't live half in the world and half in the will of God. The double life that once felt manageable now feels suffocating because heaven won't let you stay where grace has already called you out from. Stop pretending you don't hear Him. Stop numbing your conviction. Heaven isn't chasing you to punish you, it's chasing you to protect you. You've been saying, I'll fix it soon. But heaven is saying, soon is now. The reason everything around you feels unsettled is because your spirit is out of alignment with your destiny. And destiny won't wait forever. You've seen the signs: the wrong doors closing, the old friendships fading, the inner unrest that won't let you rest. That's not coincidence, that's conviction. The same God who spoke to Moses through a burning bush is speaking to you through this screen. The same God who called Jonah out of the storm is calling you out of delay. Do not mistake His patience for permission. The longer you delay obedience, the heavier your spirit becomes. Heaven's mercy is vast, but it is not endless. When God says stop, it's because danger lies ahead. You don't see it yet, but He does. He sees the trap the enemy set. He sees the heartbreak you're walking toward. He sees the consequences you won't survive. Hear this: the warning is love in disguise. God is not angry at you, He's jealous for you. He's fighting for the soul that darkness tried to claim. The emptiness you feel is not punishment. It's proof that His Spirit still dwells within you. That unease is your wake-up call. The voice of God thunders again through ancient words that still carry power today. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today." Do you feel that? That stirring is heaven, declaring that deliverance is still available, but you must stop before it's too late. Stop running from His correction. Stop hiding behind excuses. Stop pretending you're fine while your soul is starving. God's love is fierce. It will wreck your plans to protect your purpose. You've been praying for clarity, and this is it. You've been asking for confirmation, and this is it. You've said, God, if this is you, make it clear. And heaven answers, stop, turn back, come home. The doors that once opened easily will no longer open, because they're not meant for you. The people who once understood you will drift away, because the next chapter requires solitude and surrender. This is not punishment, it's preservation. Heaven is removing what cannot go with you into your destiny. The shaking you feel is not the end, it's the beginning. God is stripping away the distractions that have dulled your discernment. You can't hear clearly while holding on to what He told you to release. So, chosen one, breathe. You are not lost. You are being redirected. God is calling you to stillness, not because He wants you stuck, but because He wants you safe. The storm around you is loud, but His voice is louder. And right now, He says, stop before it's too late. Do not scroll past this moment. Do not let pride silence your repentance. Heaven is reaching for you. The same God who split the sea for Moses is about to make a way for you, but you must stand still first. If your spirit is stirring, if your heart is heavy, that is the sound of heaven knocking. Open the door. Obey the voice. Don't delay. This message didn't find you by accident, it found you by assignment. Now, as an act of surrender and faith, pause, like, share, and subscribe so this word continues to find those who are standing where you once stood. And as a prophetic declaration, type this number in the comments below to seal your obedience, 777. Let heaven see your agreement. Let the angels mark your yes. You've seen the signs. Chosen one. You felt them brushing against your spirit like wind through dry bones, gentle, then stronger, then impossible to ignore. Heaven has been whispering warnings in ways that seemed ordinary, the conversation that unsettled you, the sudden loss of peace when you stepped where you shouldn't, the closed doors that felt unfair but were actually merciful. You called it bad luck, but it wasn't. It was God intercepting your path. You prayed for guidance, but when guidance came in the form of discomfort, you turned away. Yet He didn't stop speaking. He won't stop until you see what He's been trying to show you all along. There is a pattern in your journey, and heaven has been watching it repeat. Conviction comes. You listen for a moment. You promise change. But when comfort returns, your resolve fades. This cycle has become your silent enemy. The enemy of your soul doesn't always use destruction. Sometimes he uses delay. You've convinced yourself that one more day won't hurt. But one more day can turn into one more year. Every delay you justify becomes a seed that grows into distance. Heaven is saying, enough. You can't keep ignoring the voice that has saved you countless times. The warning isn't new, but this time, it carries weight. This time, heaven is demanding action. Think back to the times you barely escaped disaster, the relationship that ended suddenly, the opportunity that collapsed before you took it. You thought you lost something precious, but in truth, you were rescued. God's protection rarely feels like protection in the moment. It feels like rejection. Yet every closed door was a stop whispered by heaven before destruction could touch you. You are not being punished. You are being pursued. God has been chasing you with mercy. But even mercy has boundaries. When grace becomes silence, judgment begins to speak. Heaven does not want that to be your story. That's why you're hearing this message now, because He is giving you another chance to stop, reflect, and realign. You've been saying, if it's really God, I'll get another sign. But you already have. The sleepless nights, the inner unrest, the loss of joy in the things that used to satisfy. All of these are divine signs. They are the handwriting on the wall of your heart. The truth is, you already know what needs to change. It's not confusion that holds you back, it's comfort. You fear the cost of obedience more than the pain of disobedience. But one is temporary, the other is eternal. The enemy wants you numb, distracted, scrolling endlessly so you never stop long enough to hear heaven's cry, "Stop before it's too late." Do you realize how precious you are? How much your obedience matters? Heaven doesn't warn the unchosen, it warns the marked. The fact that God still speaks to you means He hasn't given you over to silence. That's mercy. That's love refusing to give up. You can almost feel the divine urgency now. The air feels thick with something unseen, like creation itself is holding its breath. God is near, not in wrath, but in warning. The same voice that spoke light into darkness is now speaking into your confusion, saying, "Listen, turn back, choose obedience over delay." As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it linger. Wait for it, it will certainly come and will not delay." Heaven's timing is perfect, but your hesitation has tried to outrun it. You've been chasing things that were never meant to fill you, and each time they leave you emptier than before. Yet even now, heaven is not accusing, it's inviting. God's message is simple: stop drifting. This is your crossroad moment. You can keep repeating the cycle, or you can break it once and for all. The silence you've been living in is not peace, it's the sound of grace waiting for your yes. Every moment you hesitate, something divine waits to be released through your obedience. Chosen one. The warnings are not meant to shame you, they are meant to save you. The fire you feel is refining, not destroying. The unease you sense is the Spirit's gentle hand pulling you back from the cliff. Heaven still believes in you. Heaven still fights for you. Don't let history repeat. Don't let disobedience define your destiny. The warning that others ignored is now being entrusted to you. Hear it. Hold it. Heed it. Because this time, heaven means it. The winds of grace are shifting, and you can feel it in the air around you. This is not just another moment, it's a doorway. Heaven waits for your decision, poised to release blessings that have been held back by hesitation. Don't delay. Chosen one. Step through now. The Spirit hovers, whispering gently, "Return to me." Every heartbeat is an invitation to redemption. Every breath carries mercy still available. Heaven is closer than you think, watching for one act of surrender. Lift your eyes, grace still stands at your door, waiting for your yes. The nights have stretched longer than usual, haven't they? Chosen one, you lie in silence, staring into the dark, and something inside you aches, not from fear, but from recognition. It's that quiet, holy pull that tells you heaven has been trying to reach you again. The silence isn't empty. It's full of conversation between your weary heart and the Spirit that refuses to let you go. Every whisper of regret, every surge of restlessness, every quiet tear sliding down your face at midnight, none of it is wasted. You've mistaken divine dialogue for emotional noise. But heaven says, that restlessness is me knocking on the door of your spirit. You've tried to drown it out with distractions, music, scrolling, busyness, but conviction keeps finding you. You're not being haunted, you're being called. The unease you feel isn't punishment, it's mercy, reminding you that you still belong to heaven. Listen closely. Chosen one, when you feel that ache in your chest, when you sense that invisible pull that won't leave, that's the Spirit saying, you can't go back to sleep. You've come too far. Even your sleepless nights have meaning. Those moments when you thought, why can't I find peace? That was heaven removing false comfort so that real peace could find you. The silence is not your enemy, it's your altar. In stillness, heaven speaks louder than any storm. God has been protecting you, even while you thought he was ignoring you. When people left, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. When opportunities fell apart, it wasn't failure, it was preservation. The things you thought broke you were actually building you for something greater. You've been asking, God, are you still here? And the answer, clear as thunder, yet soft as breath, is yes. Yes. He's been here through every sleepless night, every moment you felt forgotten, every prayer you whispered that no one heard. You are not alone. You were never alone. The silence you fear is actually his invitation. Heaven often hides in quiet places so you can finally hear without interference. What you call isolation, heaven calls intimacy. God doesn't speak less, he speaks deeper. We find in the book of Psalms, chapter 62, verse 1, truly my soul finds rest in God, my salvation comes from him. That verse is more than poetry, it's instruction. Your soul won't rest in entertainment, relationships, or control. It will only rest when it returns to its Creator. You've been searching for peace in temporary things, but they can't satisfy eternity living inside you. Don't misinterpret the stillness around you. Heaven hasn't gone silent. Heaven is waiting for you to respond. The quiet is where transformation begins. The world teaches you to escape discomfort, but heaven teaches you to listen through it. You may feel like you're in a desert, but deserts are where prophets are born. Every sleepless night has been shaping your hearing. Every unanswered prayer has been training your heart to trust beyond sight. The silence that once felt heavy is now the forge where your faith grows strong. You are learning, slowly but surely, that God's absence is never real, only your attention wavers. And right now, attention is being restored. The more you lean in, the louder heaven becomes. So, here's what I need you to do as a sign of awakening. Comment, I'm listening, Lord. Those 3 words may look simple on your screen, but in the Spirit, they are a declaration. When you type them, you are not just engaging, you are surrendering. You're saying, no more noise, no more delay. I choose to hear you, even in the silence. You are opening the door again for heaven to speak freely. Say it. Chosen one, not to please the algorithm, but to please the one who still speaks through the quiet. The moment you do, the silence won't feel empty anymore. It will feel sacred, because now you're listening. When you write, I'm listening, Lord, you're not typing words, you're making a covenant. Heaven recognizes those 3 words as the sound of surrender. It's a declaration that your ears are open, your heart is soft, and your spirit is ready to obey. The moment those words leave your fingertips, angels take note. The silence that once surrounded you begins to shift, because obedience always activates movement in the spirit realm. Saying, I'm listening, Lord, is powerful because it reverses what the enemy tried to steal your attention. The world has been fighting for your focus, flooding you with noise, distraction, and endless scrolling. But when you stop and write those words, you break that cycle. You're telling heaven, I refuse to be deaf to your call any longer. That simple act becomes a weapon, cutting through confusion and calling peace back into your soul. And when you say it, mean it. Whisper it under your breath. Let your spirit echo it louder than your fears. Because those words invite divine dialogue. They are heaven's favorite prayer short, pure and sincere. Type it, speak it, live it. I'm listening, Lord. Then stay still long enough to hear what he's been waiting to say next. You are standing at the edge. Chosen one. It's not a metaphor, it's the truth. Spiritually, you are standing between two cliffs, obedience and collapse. Heaven sees it clearly, even when you don't. One more step in the wrong direction could cost you something you cannot afford to lose, not just opportunities, but peace, clarity, and divine protection. There is a reason you've been feeling this weight lately. It's not depression, it's divine pressure. God is pressing on your heart because the next decision you make matters more than you realize. Heaven's eyes are on you, waiting to see if you will step back from the cliff or keep inching forward out of habit. You know what's dangerous about edges? They deceive you. From where you stand, the ground still feels firm. But one more movement can send everything crumbling. Sin doesn't destroy you all at once. It lulls you to sleep one compromise at a time. That's why heaven speaks now before you take that next step. You've been saying, it's just a small thing. It's not that serious. But what starts small in the natural becomes deadly in the spiritual. What begins as tolerance becomes bondage. The enemy doesn't need you to rebel loudly. He just needs you to disobey quietly. That's how he steals destiny slowly, subtly, and silently. This is why God is calling you to stop now. He's not trying to restrict you, he's trying to rescue you. You've been flirting with the edge of destruction. And heaven says, one more step is too far. You know what that edge is. Maybe it's a person, a habit, a thought pattern. It feels harmless, even comforting, but it's a trap dressed in light. The Holy Spirit has been tugging on your conscience, and you felt it. That tightening in your chest when you almost go too far, that's mercy holding you back. Conviction isn't condemnation, it's heaven's safety net. Every warning you've ignored has been an act of love disguised as discomfort. Remember this, the enemy never shows you the fall, only the thrill of standing near the edge. He shows you freedom without consequence, pleasure without pain, sin without separation. But God sees the full picture. He knows that one wrong step could shatter years of growth, silence your purpose, and darken your vision. You are being protected by a voice you can't afford to mute. Every no from heaven is guarding something priceless in your future. Every conviction you feel is proof that you're still chosen. The day conviction disappears is the day danger begins. So, thank God that you still feel the pull. That's evidence you haven't gone too far yet. It's not too late to turn back. The edge is close, but grace is closer. The moment you step back in humility, heaven rushes forward with mercy. You don't need to fix everything overnight. You just need to stop moving toward what's killing your spirit. The Spirit of God reminds you now with timeless words. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12, there is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. That verse is not a threat, it's a lifeline. God is showing you that not everything that feels right is right. Emotions can deceive, pleasure can blind, and comfort can disguise danger. That's why he calls you to stop before it's too late, to see with the eyes of the Spirit instead of the eyes of desire. Chosen one. I know you feel the tension. It's the pull between the world's voice and heaven's. One tells you to follow your heart, the other tells you to guard it. One says you can handle it, the other says you're not meant to carry it. Heaven's voice always calls you higher. But the climb requires letting go of what pulls you down. You were never made for the edge, you were made for elevation. You were born to stand on mountains, not hang off cliffs. The same strength that kept you alive this far will now pull you back to safety if you surrender. Heaven is not angry, it's urgent. The Spirit is not shouting, it's pleading. Don't confuse patience for permission. God's love is warning you before the fall. The hand of mercy is still stretched toward you, but it won't stay there forever. So step back. Chosen one. Take the warning seriously. The edge offers excitement, but the ground of obedience offers peace. And peace is worth far more than any temporary thrill. The wind around you grows still, waiting for your decision. Heaven leans close, holding its breath, ready to celebrate your return. Step away from the edge. Let the whisper of grace guide your feet back to solid ground, where peace replaces fear and purpose replaces confusion. This is not your end, it's your awakening. Every warning has led to this moment of mercy. Lift your eyes. Chosen one, you're not falling. You're being called higher. The same God who warned you now waits to welcome you home. Take his hand and live. The air feels different tonight. Chosen one. It's as though heaven itself has leaned closer, its breath warm on your soul. Grace is not shouting, it's whispering. It stands before you like light at the end of a dark hallway, waiting for you to step toward it before it fades. You've carried so much weight in silence. You've held pain in your hands until it became familiar, almost comfortable. Yet even now, heaven calls your name, not to expose your weakness, but to exchange it for strength. Mercy is not a spotlight, it's a doorway. All you have to do is walk through. Sometimes grace doesn't arrive as a feeling, it comes as a choice. The choice to turn around, to begin again, to whisper, Lord, I still want you. You see, God never stopped wanting you. He was never angry that you fell. He's only been waiting for you to reach up. You've been taught to think mercy has a deadline. But in truth, mercy has an open door. The only thing that closes it is pride. And heaven is so patient, standing at the threshold, calling softly, come home before it's too late. It was written long ago, and the same words breathe life today. The Word of God declares in the Book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 22, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed. For his compassions never fail, they are new every morning. Every morning think of that, while you slept. Grace prepared another sunrise for you. While you doubted, heaven still painted the sky with color as if to say, you still have purpose. Even the sun itself becomes a sermon of mercy, no matter how dark the night was. Light always returns. This is the heartbeat of God toward you, not wrath, but renewal. He's not counting your failures, he's counting your chances to rise. You are not a lost cause, you are a living promise. And as you stand in this moment of awakening, remember, mercy often comes with a mission. When God restores you, He also invites you to help others find their way back. That's why voices like this one exist, not to impress, but to remind souls like yours that heaven hasn't gone silent. If this message stirred something deep within, let it echo forward. Tap like as your way of saying, I receive this. Share it the way light spills from a candle quietly, without effort, yet powerful enough to ignite another flame. Subscribe not for numbers, but to stay close to the flow of words that keep your spirit awake. And if your heart feels moved to support the work that carries these messages across the digital wilderness, do so as one watering a living tree. To donate is not to pay, it is to plant. You're placing a seed in soil that will grow more voices, more hope, more reminders that heaven still speaks. Give only if your spirit smiles when you do. The soil of faith rejects anything forced. Your obedience, your generosity, your attention, they all become part of a great light rising against the noise of this world. When you give, whether it's a prayer, a share, or a seed, you join heaven's movement to reach one more wandering heart. So breathe. Chosen one, grace has not forgotten you. This is your reminder that mercy still stands at your door. Hand extended, eyes kind. Take it not out of fear, but out of faith. For as long as compassion still exists, the story isn't over. Mercy still lingers in the air around you. Chosen one, can you feel it? It's the gentle warmth that touches your heart when everything else grows cold. Grace doesn't rush, it waits, patient and kind. Even now, heaven's hand reaches toward you, saying, there's still time, come closer. Your story isn't finished. Every scar, every delay, every detour is being rewritten by divine love. The pen hasn't left heaven's hand yet. God still writes beauty into your ashes, still breathes strength into your exhaustion. What felt wasted will soon become the very soil where miracles bloom. Look at your journey, it was never random. Every tear watered a lesson, every setback planted wisdom. You didn't break beyond repair, you bent toward purpose. Now the light that once guided you in secret begins to rise through you, turning you into a beacon for others who wander. So lift your head. Let the past fall like dust from your shoulders. Step into the brightness of mercy, renewed. You are not standing in the ruins anymore. You are standing at resurrection's gate. The same God who began your story intends to finish it in glory. Walk forward. Heaven watches with quiet joy as you take your first step back toward the light. Every movement of surrender is music to eternity. Don't rush, just keep walking. Mercy is not behind you anymore, it's walking beside you, guiding your every breath. The wind shifts, carrying your name into the halls of grace. Angels smile, for another heart has remembered home. This is redemption's sound, the steady rhythm of returning. Keep moving. Chosen one, the dawn has already begun to break for you. The weight of delay has been heavy on your shoulders, hasn't it? Chosen one, you've been telling yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll change soon. But the days keep slipping through your fingers like sand. Heaven has watched with compassion, waiting for your yes, and tonight, the waiting ends. There's something sacred about this moment. It feels like heaven has stopped time just long enough for you to breathe again, to listen again. God's voice is not shouting, it's steady, loving, but firm. He says, "It's time. No more delay." You've been building walls of excuses, but they've become prisons instead of protection. Fear told you that you weren't ready. Doubt whispered that you'd fail again. Yet the truth is, this readiness doesn't come before obedience. It comes because of obedience. Heaven doesn't wait for you to be perfect. It waits for you to begin. The Spirit has been gently reminding you, nudging you toward the things you've postponed: your calling, your purpose, your full surrender. Each delay has added weight to your spirit. But the good news is, this heaven is ready to break those chains. Think about how many chances God has already given you, not because you earned them, but because His patience is endless. But patience is not permission. When heaven says move, standing still becomes disobedience. You've said, "I'm waiting on God," but often it's heaven waiting on you. This message isn't meant to shame you. It's meant to release you. Every unfinished promise, every delayed prayer, every half step of obedience, heaven is gathering them all and saying, "Let's finish this together." You've been asking for open doors, but how can new doors open when you still stand in front of the old ones? You've been holding on to things that no longer fit your destiny. God can't bless who you're pretending to be. He blesses who you truly are once you surrender. The longer you delay, the heavier life feels. That's not coincidence, it's spiritual resistance. Delay doesn't just waste time, it drains faith. Each postponed yes steals a little more of your peace. But here's the miracle: the moment you decide to obey, heaven restores what you thought was lost. It was written in the wisdom of Scripture, as recorded in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." This right now is your time, not tomorrow, not someday. The divine clock is striking in your favor. Heaven is saying, it's your season to move. Every excuse you've ever spoken begins to crumble under the sound of that truth. Chosen one, imagine your destiny like a garden. Seeds have already been planted: your faith, your obedience, your prayers. But without action, the soil stays untouched. Heaven has been waiting for you to water what's already growing inside you. When you finally move, those seeds break open and new life begins to bloom. It's time to stop saying, "I'm not ready," and start saying, "Lord, I trust you." The enemy doesn't fear your potential, he fears your movement. That's why distraction has followed you everywhere. That's why procrastination has disguised itself as peace. But peace doesn't come from postponement, it comes from obedience. Every second you hesitate, purpose waits at the door, whispering, "When will you let me in?" Don't wait for perfect conditions, they'll never come. Just step forward. God honors movement more than mastery. Heaven doesn't measure how quickly you move, only that you do. This is your chance to realign, to reclaim lost time, to walk boldly into what was always meant for you. The Spirit of God is saying, the delay is broken, the weight is lifted. Move. And when you take that step, whether it's forgiving someone, returning to prayer, or starting what God placed on your heart, you'll feel the atmosphere shift. Because obedience doesn't just change your story, it changes everything around you. Now, as a prophetic act of agreement, Let's mark this moment together. Comment the number 8,888. It's not just a number, it's a declaration. It represents new beginnings, overflowing in abundance. When you type it, you're saying, I choose obedience over delay. I choose movement over fear. I choose now. Type it as your covenant with heaven. Let the angels see your yes. Let the darkness know your decision. Because from this moment on, you're not waiting anymore, you're walking. And as you do, you'll find that what once felt impossible suddenly becomes inevitable. Delay will no longer define you. Obedience will. The chains are broken, and the path is open. When you write 8,888, you're not typing digits, you're declaring destiny. That number carries the vibration of renewal, the rhythm of divine beginnings multiplied. Heaven reads it as your agreement, I am ready to begin again. Every tap of your fingers becomes a step into new alignment. Those 4 8s echo like bells across eternity, each one announcing that delay has ended. When you comment 8,888, you're saying yes to acceleration, yes to restoration, yes to God's timing. It's not superstition, it's symbolism. Heaven understands the language of faith written through your surrender. You are not just distracted, chosen one, you are targeted. The battle that has surrounded you has not been random, it's been strategic. The enemy has studied your patterns, your pain, your promises. He knows that if he can't destroy you, he'll distract you. And for a while, he succeeded. Every delay, every doubt, every sudden wave of confusion, it wasn't just bad luck. It was spiritual interference. The closer you move toward destiny, the louder the warfare becomes, because darkness only fights what threatens it. And you, chosen one, have always been a threat. You've wondered why it feels like peace slips through your fingers so quickly, why joy doesn't last, why every time you try to rise, something pulls you back down. That's not coincidence, it's a spiritual strategy. The enemy fears what you carry. He fears your awakening. From the moment heaven marked you, hell marked you too. Not because you were weak, but because your light is dangerous to darkness. Your very existence disrupts evil plans. When you walk into a room, unseen realms tremble, because your spirit carries authority you haven't even realized yet. That's why you've been attacked so fiercely. The devil doesn't waste ammunition on those who pose no threat. You've been under pressure because you're valuable. You've been hit because you're holy. The storm around you is proof that something powerful is about to break open within you. But here's the truth. The enemy doesn't want you to remember. He can attack your surroundings, but he cannot touch your anointing. The fire may burn around you, but it cannot consume what heaven has sealed. You are untouchable when you walk in obedience. You've been feeling weary, wondering why the spiritual atmosphere feels so heavy. It's because you've been fighting invisible battles without realizing how equipped you truly are. Heaven did not send you into this world unarmed. You carry divine weapons, faith, prayer, praise, the word. You have more power than you've been using. When darkness whispers lies, you'll never be free. You'll never change. You've gone too far, remember this. Those lies only have power when you agree with them. Break agreement with fear. Break agreement with shame. The moment you stop believing the lie, its chains dissolve. You have to understand the enemy's first goal is not destruction, it's distraction. If he can keep your eyes on the storm, you'll forget who commands the wind. He wants to keep you busy fighting small battles so you never rise into your greater calling. But heaven says, lift your eyes higher. There's a war over your focus because what you focus on multiplies. If you focus on pain, pain grows. If you focus on purpose, purpose expands. The enemy wants your attention, but heaven wants your allegiance. Choose wisely which voice you feed. It was spoken through the apostle in the second letter to the Corinthians. Chapter 10, verse 4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. That's your reminder, you are not powerless. You are armed with truth, wrapped in grace, and fueled by divine authority. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives within you. No curse can outlast that. No darkness can overpower that. The attacks you faced are not signs that you're failing, they're signs that you're advancing. Every hit you've taken has only refined your strength. Every wound has become an entrance for greater light. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Heaven is training you to see beyond the surface, to recognize spiritual warfare for what it truly is, a battle over destiny. You are learning to fight differently, not with anger, but with authority. Not with panic, but with prayer. Not with fear, but with faith that refuses to bow. You are a soldier of light. You were never meant to blend in with the shadows. You are called to stand, to intercede, to be the voice that brings heaven's fire into dark places. That's why your life has felt like warfare. It's because your very presence disturbs the enemy's plans. Chosen one, do not despise this battle. It's proof that you are chosen. The pain you feel is not punishment, it's promotion. Heaven is sharpening you through resistance. The war that tried to destroy you will one day testify that you were unstoppable. Every sleepless night, every tear, every moment of confusion, it's all being gathered by God and transformed into strength. You're not fighting alone. Angels surround you. Heaven fights beside you. And the victory that's been written over your name cannot be erased. So, breathe. The fight is real. But so is your victory. The darkness that's been pressing against you is about to flee, because light always wins. You've been targeted. Yes, but you've also been chosen, sealed, and sent. And no power of hell can change that truth. The battle may rage, but heaven already called you victorious. Stand firm, chosen one. The roar around you is just the sound of darkness realizing it's losing its hold. You're not merely surviving, you're advancing with divine fire in your spirit. Keep standing. You once believed you could manage both the light and the shadow. Chosen one, you thought you could keep a foot in both worlds, half surrendered, half in control. But heaven is showing you now that the middle ground doesn't exist. The illusion of control is the most dangerous deception of all. You told yourself you were fine, that you could handle it, that you were strong enough to balance both holiness and compromise. But what you called balance, heaven calls bondage. You cannot serve two masters. You will love one and drift from the other. And slowly, quietly, the drift began. The truth is, control feels safe because surrender feels vulnerable. It feels terrifying to let go, to admit that you don't know how everything will turn out. Yet that's where faith begins, where your strength ends. God never asked you to manage your calling. He asked you to trust Him with it. When you try to control what only heaven can handle, your soul becomes tired. Anxiety grows where trust should live. Fear becomes a false comforter, and peace feels distant. But peace has not left you, it's waiting for your surrender. You've been clutching things that were never meant to stay in your hands. Outcomes, people, timelines, even pain. You told yourself, if I just hold on a little longer, it won't hurt as much. But the longer you hold it, the deeper the wound becomes. Letting go isn't losing, it's healing. The enemy loves to convince the chosen that control is strength. But in truth, control is often unbelief dressed as wisdom. When you try to manage both sin and calling, you lose both. Light cannot live where darkness is invited to stay. The two will always fight for the same space, and one must leave for the other to fully live. Heaven is not trying to take your freedom, it's trying to give it back. True freedom doesn't come from having control, it comes from releasing it. You were never meant to be your own savior. That weight is too heavy for human hands. Only divine ones can carry destiny without breaking. Do you see it now? Every time you've tried to plan your way forward, God has rearranged the map. Every door you forced open closed again, and every path you resisted eventually became the one you needed. You've never been abandoned, you've been redirected. The Spirit is teaching you what surrender truly means. It's not weakness, it's worship. It's trusting that even when you can't see the plan, you can still trust the planner. Heaven doesn't need your control, it needs your cooperation. It is spoken in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. That truth is more than a verse, it's a lifeline. You've been leaning on your understanding for too long, and that's why your strength feels drained. But when you shift your weight back into God's hands, everything steadies again. Chosen one. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means giving over. It's taking your plans, your fears, your what-ifs, and laying them before heaven, saying, "Do what you will. Lord, I trust you." And that act alone pure. Honest surrender releases power that control never could. You may not realize it yet, but the peace you've been searching for is waiting on the other side of release. The moment you stop gripping life so tightly, heaven can finally breathe through you again. Think of it this way: when a bird holds its wings too stiff, it can't soar, it must loosen, open, and trust the wind. You, too, must learn to open your spirit to the current of grace. Stop flapping in panic, start gliding in faith. God is not asking you to abandon reason, He's asking you to trust beyond reason. Faith fills the gaps logic cannot reach, and when you let Him take control, you'll see that what you feared losing was only blocking what you were meant to gain. There is a holy exchange happening even now. As you let go of control, heaven releases direction. As you surrender fear, heaven pours in peace. As you stop clinging to outcomes, heaven unveils purpose. You lose nothing by surrendering except the chaos you were never meant to carry. Chosen one, stop trying to manage the fire that was meant to burn away your chains. Let the flames refine you. not frighten you. You cannot be both the potter and the clay. You were formed to be shaped by divine hands, not hardened by your own. Tonight, heaven whispers again, release it. Trust me. You don't need to have the answers. You just need to remain available. God can work with surrender, but he cannot move through resistance. You've carried the illusion of control long enough. Now it's time to carry peace instead. And peace only comes when you finally let go. The storms have been loud lately, haven't they? Chosen one, you've been trying to hear God through the noise, through confusion, heartbreak, fear, and the constant hum of uncertainty. But even when everything around you shakes, heaven's voice does not change. It's still clear, still steady, still calling your name. Sometimes it's hard to recognize that voice when the thunder is constant. You start to wonder, is that really God? Or just my thoughts? Yet deep inside, beneath the noise, you feel a whisper that doesn't fade. It feels familiar, safe, and strong. That's him. You've mistaken silence for absence. But silence is often how God speaks. The storm outside might roar, but his voice often comes as a still, small wind brushing across your spirit. You've been searching for fireworks, but heaven has been speaking in whispers. You ask, why does it feel so hard to hear? Because sometimes storms don't come to destroy you, they come to clear the distractions around you. The wind may howl, but it's clearing away everything that blocks your hearing. When God allows a storm, it's because he's preparing you to recognize his voice in any weather. Every great calling is tested by sound. The world shouts, heaven whispers, the enemy yells lies into your mind. But God breathes truth into your spirit. One demands attention, the other invites peace. Your breakthrough won't come from the loudest voice, it'll come from the one that brings stillness. You've been looking for direction, but direction begins with discernment. The moment you quiet your thoughts, his words surface like light rising through deep water. You'll know it's him because his words never accuse, they align. They don't confuse, they confirm. Think back, chosen one, to every time you almost gave up. Somehow, a soft thought rose within you, a nudge that said, keep going. That wasn't you talking to yourself, that was heaven speaking life into your lungs. Even in the storm, he was there. The Spirit never stopped guiding you, it's just that you were surrounded by so many competing sounds. But tonight, something shifts. The storm that once overwhelmed you now becomes your classroom. The winds you feared begin to carry his voice again. As recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12, and after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That's where he is, in the whisper. Not in the chaos, not in the noise, but in the quiet voice that only faith can hear. The gentle whisper carries more power than the loudest thunder, because it doesn't force, it transforms. Heaven is reminding you now, you don't need to shout to be heard by God, and you don't need to panic to be led by him. The shepherd's voice is steady, familiar, and unmistakable. Once you recognize it, even the storm begins to sound like music. The enemy wants you to believe you've lost your way. But you haven't, you've just forgotten to listen. You've been trying to navigate through the storm with your own strength. But heaven says, let me guide you by peace, not pressure. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. The storm hasn't won, it's just loud. Beneath it, the calm remains. You're learning to hear again, to trust again, to follow again. You don't need the perfect plan, you just need the right voice. And that voice is calling you, not in anger, but in love. Come closer. Every wave that rises against you will soon fall silent when you fix your ears on Him. So now, as a prophetic act of surrender and alignment, write these words below, simple but powerful. Speak, I'm here. When you comment that, it's not about engagement, it's about encounter. You're telling heaven, I'm done listening to my fears. I'm tuning my spirit back to your frequency. It's a conversation starter between you and God. An invitation for His whisper to become your compass again. Type it and mean it, not for anyone else to see, but as a declaration of focus. Because when heaven sees those words written from your heart, the storm loses its voice, and peace begins to reign again. When you write, speak, I'm here, you are doing more than commenting, you are responding to heaven. Those 3 words become a bridge between your heart and God's voice. It's your way of silencing the world and opening your spirit to divine direction. Heaven always answers a listening heart. Every time you say, speak, I'm here, you're shifting your position from wandering to waiting. You're declaring that your ears are tuned, your mind is still, and your soul is ready. It's a whisper of surrender that says, I no longer need control, I just need your voice. So type it slowly. Feel it. Let each word settle like prayer. When you write, speak, I'm here, the noise loses its power, and the atmosphere around you begins to change. The same God who spoke through the storm to Elijah will speak through your silence tonight. Everything that can be shaken is being shaken. Chosen one, you feel it, don't you? The ground that once felt firm now trembles under your feet. Relationships, plans, even pieces of your identity are shifting. But this shaking is not your undoing, it's your unveiling. Heaven shakes what is unstable so that what is divine may remain. You've been asking, why does everything feel uncertain? Because God is removing what was never meant to carry your weight. False foundations, fading attachments, and comfortable patterns are being pulled away not to hurt you, but to set you free. The shaking isn't rejection, it's refinement. Imagine a tree during a storm. The wind howls, leaves scatter, branches bend, yet its roots grow deeper. The shaking forces strength beneath the surface. That's what heaven is doing inside you, strengthening what's unseen so that your purpose can stand the test of time. You've been holding tightly to things that once felt safe titles. People, habits, but God is whispering, let it fall if it must. Sometimes, He allows certain things to crumble so that you can see what truly holds you. You can't build eternity on what's temporary. It was declared in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 27. The words once more indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things so that what cannot be shaken may remain. You, chosen one, are what will remain. The shaking won't destroy you, it's revealing your roots. You're learning that peace isn't found in stability, it's found in surrender. The things you lose may make noise as they fall, but what's being built in silence will last forever. Do you know how gold becomes pure? It's placed in fire until every impurity rises to the surface. The gold doesn't disappear in the heat, it becomes radiant. You are heaven's gold. This shaking, this fire, is not punishment, it's preparation. And yet, even as you walk through it, remember, you're not alone. There are others who felt the same trembling beneath their feet, the same call to release what no longer serves the light. You're part of a movement of souls being refined for glory. That's why messages like this exist, to remind hearts like yours that heaven is closer than it seems. If these words find you at the right moment, it's because you're not meant to walk this path in silence. If this has spoken to you, take a quiet moment to tap like. Let it be your way of saying, I hear you. Lord, I understand. Share this message the way a candle shares its flame, with gentleness, with hope. You never know whose storm you might calm with your obedience. Every share is like a ripple spreading light farther than you can see. Subscribe if you want to stay in the current of this stream of words. It's not just content, it's communion. Each message builds upon the last, shaping your journey step by step. Like stones leading across a river, stay connected to the flow that reminds you who you are. And if your heart feels stirred to do more, listen, not out of pressure, but out of purpose. To donate is to plant. Think of it as placing a seed into the soil of someone else's breakthrough. The soil of grace never forgets a seed sown in love. No one is asking out of demand. Heaven never trades with guilt, it multiplies through generosity. When you give, do it freely, like the rain giving itself to the earth. You are watering unseen gardens, messages yet to be born, hearts yet to be healed. Your gift, whether prayer, time, or support, becomes the oil that keeps this flame burning. It's not about transaction, it's about transformation. Every drop of kindness poured into the work of light becomes eternal fruit. Let it be simple. Let it be sincere. Give only if peace rises when you do. That's how heaven measures the purity of a gift, not by the amount, but by the heart behind it. Chosen one, you are standing in the middle of a holy shaking. What falls away now is clearing the ground for new growth. Don't mourn the crumbling walls, celebrate the coming foundation. The shaking is heaven's way of saying, I'm rebuilding you with glory. When the dust settles, you'll realize that what you lost was never meant to stay, and what remains is everything heaven ever promised. This is the sound of transformation. The storm was never meant to bury you, it was meant to reveal you. So, breathe deeply. Stand tall. Let what must fall. Fall and watch what remains shine brighter than ever before. You are the unshakable one, and your story is only beginning. When the shaking stops, the silence that follows will not be empty. It will hum with renewal. You'll look around and see that only truth remains. The ruins will whisper of lessons learned, and the wind will carry songs of beginnings born from endings. So lift your head, chosen one. The dust is not your defeat. It's proof that transformation has taken place. What remains after the storm is stronger, purer, eternal. Step forward gently, carrying peace where fear once lived, rebuilt by grace, unshakable by faith. You can feel it now, can't you? Chosen one, the air around you is different. Something in your spirit knows that heaven is near, closer than it has ever been. This is not imagination, it's divine invitation. God is calling you back to obedience, not as a demand, but as a return to harmony. Obedience is not a chain, It's a bridge. It reconnects you to the flow of heaven's rhythm, the same rhythm that once guided your steps before fear interrupted the melody. You've been out of tune for a while, trying to conduct your own life. But heaven is inviting you to fall back into the music. There's a beauty in obedience that few understand. It doesn't come from duty, but from love. When your heart says yes before your mind calculates the cost, you begin to walk not by sight, but by trust. Obedience isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, moves you closer to purpose. You've learned what disobedience feels like: restlessness, confusion, spiritual noise. It's like walking in circles, always moving but never progressing. That's what happens when the soul fights its own alignment. Heaven never curses you for wandering. It simply waits, patiently, until you decide to turn back. You've been there, standing at crossroads where comfort whispered one way and conviction pointed another. The easier road always looks more peaceful. But peace without presence is an illusion. True peace only comes when your steps match heaven's pace. The path of obedience often feels narrow, but that's because it leads upward. Wide roads lead to ease, narrow roads lead to elevation. The climb can be hard, but every step is holy, and the view from the top: clarity, purpose, joy is worth every moment of surrender. Think of Jonah, running from what God asked of him. His disobedience led him into storms and darkness. Yet even there, grace waited. The moment Jonah said yes, the sea calmed, and purpose reawakened. Obedience doesn't erase the past, it redeems it. You've run long enough, haven't you? You've tried to build peace without permission, success without submission, purpose without prayer. And every time, something felt missing. That's because obedience isn't optional for the chosen. It's the language of their destiny. It was spoken through the prophet Samuel. In the first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verse 22, "To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams." That verse reveals a divine truth. God doesn't want performance, He wants partnership. He doesn't ask for burnt offerings or elaborate displays. He wants your yes. A surrendered heart carries more weight in heaven than 1,000 rituals performed without faith. Obedience isn't about losing control, it's about aligning with divine control. When you yield to God's will, you're not giving something up, you're giving something back. The plans you hold so tightly were never meant to be carried alone. You've been afraid of obedience because it feels uncertain. You worry. What if I lose something? But you can't lose what was never meant to stay. Every act of obedience may require release, but every release makes room for greater reward. The truth is, obedience always leads to revelation. When Abraham lifted the knife, God revealed the ram. When Peter stepped out of the boat, he discovered he could walk on water. When Mary said yes to the impossible, the Word became flesh. Every miracle in Scripture began with obedience. So why not you? Why not now? What if the breakthrough you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of your surrender? What if heaven is ready to open? But it's waiting for your yes. Obedience doesn't mean you won't stumble. It means you'll always have a hand to lift you when you do. It means you'll walk in rhythm with heaven, moving to a melody that no one else can hear. It means trading confusion for clarity, anxiety for assurance. Chosen one. Heaven doesn't expect perfection, it expects participation. God doesn't need your strength, He needs your agreement. The moment you say, "Lord, whatever you ask, I will do," heaven begins to rearrange everything around you. You've been praying for miracles, but miracles often wait for movement. You've been asking for direction, but direction begins when your feet take the first step. The map unfolds only as you move forward. The Spirit is whispering now, "This is the way, walk in it." The path ahead might not make sense, but obedience doesn't require understanding, it requires trust. You don't need to see the whole road, just the next step. When you obey, peace follows like a faithful shadow. The fear that once haunted you loses its voice. The noise that once clouded your thoughts fades into silence. Suddenly, the air feels clearer, your spirit lighter. That's the reward of obedience. It realigns you with divine peace. So walk, chosen one, not because you're forced to, but because your heart longs to. Walk not in fear, but in faith. Heaven has been waiting for this moment, for your quiet yes that shakes eternity. The chains are breaking. Chosen one, can you feel it, that subtle shift in your spirit? That weight lifting from your chest, it's not your imagination. It's heaven moving. Every silent prayer, every tear that fell without words, has reached the throne of God. And tonight, something is being loosed in the unseen realm. For so long, you've been walking with invisible chains, fear, guilt, doubt, regret tied so quietly around your heart that you almost forgot they were there. But heaven has not forgotten. Every shackle forged in darkness is now trembling at the sound of God's command, "Let them go." The enemy thought he had you trapped in cycles, repeating pain, repeated mistakes, repeated self-blame. But heaven never saw a prisoner. Heaven saw a warrior waiting to awaken. You were never bound by your failure. You were bound by forgetting who you are. Chains don't break because you try harder. They break because light enters. And that light has entered now. The moment truth shines on bondage, darkness loses its grip. You don't have to wrestle with it anymore. Just receive it. Breathe. The atmosphere around you is shifting because your spirit has chosen freedom. It was spoken in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 1. "He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners." That promise wasn't written for ancient times alone, it's breathing over you right now. Heaven is declaring liberty over your mind, your emotions, your past, your future. Every chain that once defined you is melting under divine fire. You've carried burdens that were never yours to bear. The pain of what they said, the shame of what you did, the constant feeling that you have to earn what was freely given. But grace does not require repayment, it only asks for surrender. God is not standing above you with judgment, He's kneeling beside you with keys. The door was never locked from the outside, it was fear that convinced you it couldn't open. Tonight, heaven says, push, it will move. Every cycle ends where truth begins. Every curse breaks where faith speaks. You don't have to repeat the old patterns. The same God who split the sea for Moses is splitting the cycle for you. What once held you is now letting go. Because grace has arrived with authority. This is your Exodus moment, the crossing from captivity into calling. You're not walking out empty-handed. You're walking out wiser, stronger, and marked by the fire of survival. Every scar is a testimony, not a stain. You've wondered if freedom is really possible. The answer is yes, but it requires one thing: your agreement. Heaven can't force you out of chains you still call comfortable. Freedom begins when you say, "I'm done pretending these chains fit me." Chosen one, you were made to move freely, to breathe deeply, to carry light unshaken. God is restoring everything that bondage tried to steal: your laughter, your courage, your voice. The silence you once lived in will now become your song of deliverance. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment. The moment is now. You don't need to wait for someone else to free you. The key is already in your hands. Heaven has placed it within your faith. When chains break, the sound echoes across eternity. Angels rejoice. Darkness retreats. And heaven writes a new beginning beside your name. This is what's happening now, not next week. Not someday, now. So let this be the moment you mark as the turning point. The moment heaven moved and freedom began. To seal this truth, type this prophetic number as your declaration of release: 9,999. This is not just a number, it's a symbol of completion, of cycles ending and new beginnings arising. When you comment 9,999, you're saying, "This season of bondage is over. I step into the fullness of freedom God prepared for me." It's not superstition, it's symbolism. It's faith made visible. Heaven reads that number as a signal flare, a sign that a captive has chosen liberty. When you type it, you are announcing to darkness that you will never wear its chains again. Type it slowly, meaningfully. Feel the power in your fingertips as you declare freedom. Let it echo not just on the screen, but in your spirit. Because tonight, heaven isn't just speaking about freedom, it's watching you step into it. When you type 9,999, you're not just writing numbers, you're sealing a divine ending. Those digits carry the rhythm of closure, the echo of finality. They mean the old cycle is complete. The old chains are broken, and heaven has recorded your release. Each 9 rings like a bell in the spirit, marking freedom's arrival. 9,999 becomes your victory. Cry simple, sacred, and seen. When you post it, you are telling heaven, "I agree with my deliverance. I accept my freedom." The angels take note of that declaration and rejoice. So write it with faith. Whisper it if you must. Let those numbers become your anthem. Your exhale after captivity. You are free. Chosen one completely. Eternally. Beautifully free. The fire has come. Chosen one. Not to destroy, but to refine. You have been walking through a season of flames, not literal, but spiritual, where everything unnecessary has been burned away. What you thought was punishment has turned out to be purification. God has not been trying to end you, He has been shaping you. Fire is a strange teacher. It hurts. It glows. It exposes. It shows what can endure and what cannot. Everything false melts. Everything true remains. You've been wondering why everything around you has felt unstable, why the things that used to bring comfort now bring restlessness. It's because heaven turned up the heat to reveal what's real. You prayed for strength, and heaven sent refinement. Because strength doesn't grow in ease, it grows in fire. The moments that burned the most are the same moments that made you unbreakable. The very flames you feared are the reason you now carry light. You are walking proof that pain can purify. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every betrayal has been an anvil where heaven forged your character. You may have felt abandoned, but you were actually in the workshop of God. Each blow was measured, each flame intentional, each tear collected. You asked for power, but heaven gave you purity first. Power without purity corrupts, and God loves you too much to let that happen. So he burned away what was small in you: ego, pride, bitterness, until all that remained was gold. That's what the refining fire does. It removes the counterfeit so the authentic can shine. It was spoken in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, I will bring that third part through the fire. I will refine them as silver is refined, and will test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. Do you see the beauty in that promise? The fire isn't there to silence your prayers. It's there to make sure you recognize his voice when he answers. The ones who've walked through fire learn to speak heaven's language more fluently. Their faith stops being fragile. It becomes flame-proof. Think of the goldsmith. He places the metal into the furnace again and again, watching carefully, never leaving it unattended. He knows the metal is ready when he can see his reflection in it. That's what God has been doing with you. He's been turning the heat up, not to harm you, but until his image is visible in your heart. And when you finally look back, you'll realize the fire never consumed you. It consumed what tried to consume you. Fear melted, doubt cracked, insecurity turned to dust. You came out glowing, not from pain, but from purity. This is what heaven does for the chosen. It allows them to feel the weight of fire so they can carry the weight of glory. Only those who've been burned can bear the brilliance of true purpose. You've been through so much, but you're still standing. That's the miracle. You've lost things, but not yourself. You've been shaken, but not shattered. You've been refined, not ruined. Every flame that touched you became light within you. Now, when people look at you, they'll see the glow of one who's been through divine fire. Not prideful, not bitter, just radiant. Because suffering didn't make you smaller, it made you sacred. Sometimes heaven has to strip everything down to reveal who you really are. The version of you that's emerging from this season is stronger, quieter, more discerning, and filled with a new kind of power, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself. And though you may still smell the smoke of what you've walked through, remember, even the smoke is testimony. It says, I've been through the fire, and I survived. That scent isn't failure, it's fragrance, the aroma of endurance, the perfume of one who refused to quit. The fire may have scorched your plans, but it didn't touch your promise. The ashes that surround you are not graves, they're gardens waiting for new life to bloom. From the dust of what you lost, heaven will plant something eternal. Chosen one, never forget this fire cannot destroy what God has declared pure. It can only reveal it. You are the revelation of that truth. You've been tested and found true. You've been broken open only so that light could pour out. What once hurt you will soon help others. What once silenced you will now empower your voice. The same fire that refined you will illuminate others still walking through theirs. You'll speak, and your words will carry weight because they've been tempered by truth. This is what it means to be chosen, not spared from fire. but sustained through it. You are heaven's gold, glowing from the touch of divine flame. And when the world looks upon you, they'll see not what you lost, but what you became. The flames die down now, leaving only light. You stand surrounded by quiet embers, their glow reflecting the strength within you. The fire did its work. You are pure, steady, radiant. What remains is not ruin, but renewal, not ashes. But the beauty of survival turned to glory. You are awakening. Chosen one, the smoke has cleared, and your spirit stands taller than before. What once broke you has now built you. The weight that used to bend your back has become the crown that rests upon your head. You've passed through the fire, and now heaven begins to reveal your authority. Authority does not come from titles or applause. It comes from survival. Every storm you endured, every battle you didn't think you'd win, forged a strength the enemy cannot counterfeit. The authority of the chosen is born in hidden places, in nights of tears, mornings of prayer, in seasons where no one clapped but heaven watched. You once questioned why your path was harder, your pain deeper, your process longer. But now you understand ordinary soldiers don't train with heavenly weapons. You were being prepared for command. Heaven does not give authority to the untested. It gives it to those who've wrestled with darkness and refused to surrender. You carry a voice that carries weight in the spirit realm now. When you speak, things move. When you pray, atmospheres shift. You don't always see it, but heaven does. The reason you intimidate darkness is because you carry light that has learned how to endure. The words of Jesus, recorded in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19, declare, "Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." That promise wasn't a metaphor, it was a mantle. You've been given authority to walk boldly, to speak truth without trembling, to step into spaces that once terrified you. What once wounded you now bows to you. The fear that used to chase you now flees. But remember, this true authority is humble. It doesn't roar for attention. It whispers with confidence. It doesn't seek control. It releases peace. Those who walk with real power never have to announce it. The atmosphere reveals it. You don't need to prove that you're chosen. The oil on your life speaks louder than explanation. The light within you testifies on your behalf. Heaven's mark cannot be erased, and its fragrance cannot be hidden. Authority means you've become a vessel through which heaven enforces its will. You're not called to crush others, you're called to awaken them. Every word you speak now carries creative power, life, healing, deliverance. That's why you must be careful with your tongue. What you release carries heaven's signature. Your journey through refinement was never about pain, it was about preparation. The authority you carry now didn't come cheap. It cost you nights of silence, moments of surrender, and battles no one saw. But you emerged pure, and with purity comes power. When the enemy sees you now, he remembers the battles he lost trying to break you. That's why opposition rises, it's recognition. Every new attack is proof you've stepped into a new level of influence. Darkness doesn't waste energy on the insignificant. Yet this authority isn't for pride, it's for service. You were given power not to build a throne, but to build bridges. The people around you are waiting for your courage to unlock their faith. The same way Heaven used someone's words to wake you. Heaven will now use yours to wake others. You are an ambassador of light, a carrier of divine authority in a world that has forgotten who it serves. Your presence disrupts confusion because peace travels with you. Your touch heals not because of who you are, but because of who walks through you. Remember the power of quiet authority. You don't need to argue with darkness. Your light is argument enough. Stand still and know that the one who called you still stands behind you. When you walk, walk as one commissioned. Every step you take is not random, it's reclamation. You're reclaiming ground that fear once ruled, breaking generational patterns with every breath of obedience. That's what authority looks like in motion. It's redemption expressed through movement. Chosen one, your authority is not a badge, it's a responsibility. Use it to lift others, not to elevate yourself. Heaven trusts hearts that remember they are servants before leaders. Now, look at yourself, not the version defined by pain, but the one refined by purpose. The reflection you see is not who you were, it's who heaven always saw. The battles were not meant to destroy your identity, they were meant to reveal it. Authority is awareness. It's knowing you don't walk alone. Every word you say, every step you take, every prayer you whisper carries the weight of divine backing. You are heaven's representative on earth, light in motion, truth in form. So move with grace, speak with power, and live as one who knows the same fire that once tried to consume you has crowned you instead. You have authority because you endured. You walk free because you finally know who you are. The time has come. Chosen one, you've walked through the storm, stood through the shaking, and risen from the fire. What you carry now is not just survival, it's light. And heaven never gives light for you to keep hidden. This is the moment when your voice becomes a flame that warms others still walking in the dark. There is a stirring in your spirit, a quiet recognition that your life is not just about you. The journey you've survived has purpose beyond your own healing. Every scar you carry is now a lamp that can guide someone else home. Heaven doesn't waste pain, it repurposes it for power. The remnant, the chosen, are rising. You are part of them, not a crowd, but a company, not loud, but luminous. Heaven's army does not march with noise, but with presence. You, chosen one, are one of the silent warriors who transform spaces just by standing there. Look around. The world is trembling in confusion, and many hearts are searching for something real. The light you carry isn't meant to be locked in a secret chamber. It was given to you to be shared, gently but bravely. Every word you speak, every act of kindness, every time you tell someone that heaven still sees them, you extend the kingdom. The Spirit reminds us through the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Do you feel it now, that quiet call to become a living echo of heaven's kindness? It doesn't mean preaching from pulpits. It means living with purpose in the ordinary. You are the sermon the world reads before it opens the Bible. And when light meets darkness, something extraordinary happens. It multiplies. One candle can set 1,000 others aflame without losing its own fire. That's why heaven whispers to you now, share the light. If these words have found you, it's because heaven wanted to remind you that you are still a carrier of warmth in a cold world. If this message touched your heart, press like, Think of it not as approval, but as a spark, an agreement that the light within you is alive. Share this message as one passing a lantern down a long hallway, not to show off the flame, but to ensure no one else walks in darkness. When you do, you take part in something holy, an invisible network of light spreading from heart to heart. And if your soul feels drawn to stay near the flow of these words to keep your spirit fed and reminded, subscribe, not out of routine, but out of relationship. Each message is a breath from heaven designed to strengthen the fire you carry. Staying connected keeps that fire steady, even when winds blow. Now, a gentle word about generosity. To donate is to pour water on a seed already growing. It's not payment, it's participation. Every offering, no matter how small, becomes fuel for more messages like this to reach other weary hearts. You are not funding noise, you are watering a garden of souls. Give only if peace rises in you when you do. Let it be natural, not forced. Generosity is a language heaven understands. It sounds like gratitude turned into motion. The beauty of giving isn't the act itself, but the love that carries it. You are never pressured, you are invited. And as this light spreads, tell heaven you hear the call. Right below, the light lives. It's more than a comment, it's a covenant. When you type it, you're saying, I will keep my flame alive, and I will share it. The angels mark such words as living prayers written in digital ink. Because the truth is, chosen one, the remnant survives by shared light and mutual care. The oil that keeps the flame burning doesn't come from striving, it comes from unity. When you support the flame, you become part of the miracle. There is so much more to come. The road ahead is not easy, but it is holy. You are not just surviving, you are stepping into purpose. Your obedience, your compassion, your courage, they are the threads weaving heaven's plan into the fabric of earth. So stand tall. Let your silence speak when words fail. Let your kindness echo louder than opinions. Let your giving of love, of time, of presence become the fragrance that reminds others of grace. The world doesn't need another sermon, it needs more evidence of light. If you felt something move inside you during this message, don't brush it off. That warmth in your chest is heaven confirming. You are part of the remnant. Let that truth settle deeply. Let it call you higher, not for attention, but for purpose. Because every small action matters, every word of encouragement, every gentle prayer, every selfless gift, it all builds the unseen kingdom. You are helping write a story of redemption that will outlive you. So, chosen one, walk on. Carry the flame carefully but boldly. Your light doesn't just belong to you, it belongs to everyone still searching for home. And as you shine, heaven smiles, because it recognizes its reflection in you. The air is still now. Chosen one, after the noise of war, after the shaking and fire, comes the silence where heaven speaks most clearly. You've walked through the long night of becoming, and though your scars remain, they no longer ache. They shine. They are no longer reminders of pain, but of passage. You have stepped into a new kind of peace, the kind that doesn't depend on what happens around you. It's not fragile, not conditional, not fleeting. It's the kind of peace that lives inside storms and does not break. The peace that Jesus spoke of, the kind the world cannot give and cannot take away. You used to chase peace like something far ahead, always moving, always slipping just out of reach. But now you see, peace was never a destination. It was a person. It was presence. It was God walking beside you in every valley you once feared. All along, you were learning to live from stillness, not toward it. Heaven has been teaching you the rhythm of rest, not the rest of inactivity, but the rest of trust. You've been learning to fight your battles from a place of calm rather than chaos. It is written in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 33, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Those words are more than comfort. They are an anchor. They remind you that the turbulence you feel around you does not define the stability within you. Peace is not the absence of trouble, it is the assurance that trouble has an expiration date. You've discovered that the deeper your trust grows, the quieter your spirit becomes. Worry used to rule your nights, but now faith stands guard at your door. You no longer measure your strength by what you can control, but by what you can release. Peace is not passivity, it is power under control. It's the calm voice that says, "I know who holds tomorrow." It's the steady heart that refuses to panic when the winds shift. It's the quiet authority that remembers heaven is never in a hurry. You used to pray for storms to stop. Now you pray to see clearly in the rain. That's how you know transformation has taken root, not when problems disappear, but when panic does. The waves may still rise, but your spirit no longer sinks with them. Heaven has been training your soul to stay steady in motion, to keep breathing through uncertainty. The more you learn to rest in God's timing, the more you see His fingerprints in every delay, every detour, every divine interruption. Chosen one, this peace you've found isn't meant to isolate you, it's meant to anchor others. You have become a living harbor for weary souls. People will begin to find you, drawn not by what you say, but by the atmosphere you carry. Your calm will become contagious, a reminder that stability is possible even in chaos. You've learned that stillness isn't silence, it's communion. It's the space where heaven whispers the next assignment, the next word, the next direction. You no longer rush to fill every silence with sound. You wait for divine instruction to shape your steps. This is maturity, when your heart no longer races at every shaking, when your prayers become conversations rather than requests. You are no longer begging for peace, you are breathing it. It fills your lungs, your mind, your speech. Look back for a moment. You'll see the journey wasn't random. Every trial that terrified you once is now a teacher you thank. Every unanswered prayer turned into wisdom. Every loss carved space for new growth. Nothing was wasted. Heaven repurposed it all. Peace is the fruit of trust, and trust grows in surrender. Every yes you gave to God watered the roots of this serenity. Every tear softened the soil where calm could take root. You didn't lose yourself in the storm, you found who you really are. You are not who you were at the beginning of this story. The restless wanderer has become a resting warrior. You don't fight every battle that calls your name anymore, you wait for heaven to point to the ones that matter. That's discernment. That's growth. There's a new rhythm in your soul now, a pulse that beats in time with grace. You move slower, speak softer, love deeper. You've realized that peace is not loud, it's steady. It doesn't demand attention, it transforms quietly. This peace is your inheritance, your shield, your song, and as you live from it, you'll find yourself drawing heaven closer into every space you enter. Because peace is not just something you possess, it's something you become. So rest now, chosen one, not because the work is done, but because the worker is faithful. Rest in the truth that you are held, guided, and guarded. Rest in the knowing that the storm served its purpose and cannot return with the same power. You have found the still point between heaven and earth, the sacred calm that comes when trust finally outruns fear. Keep it close, protect it fiercely, and let it lead you into everything that's next. The air feels holy tonight. Chosen one, everything has quieted not because the world is calm, but because you are. What used to shake you now only reminds you of how deeply your roots have grown. You've learned to live from the still center of faith rather than the edges of fear. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for all along. You've walked through fire, stood in storms, cried in silence, and prayed when you could barely speak. And through it all, heaven has been sculpting something eternal in you. You are not who you were when this began. You've become something stronger, gentler, wiser, someone who has learned to love the process as much as the promise. Every trial, every tear, every delay was divine training. The pain was not punishment, it was preparation. What once felt like loss has turned out to be foundation. You are not standing in ruins, you are standing on sacred ground, built from everything you survived. Heaven is not rushing you forward now. It's inviting you to breathe. This is not an ending, it's an unveiling. The old you has completed her season, and the true you, the one heaven always knew, is emerging. The wilderness you feared was not a curse, it was a womb. Out of that wilderness, a new creation has stepped forth. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Those words are more than a call, they're a confirmation. You've been waiting for a sign that it's your time, and heaven is saying, it's here. The long preparation has ended, the new assignment has begun. You are no longer in hiding, you are in revealing. You once doubted whether you were truly chosen, but look at everything you've endured. The fact that you're still here, still breathing, still believing, that's proof. The mark of the chosen is not perfection, it's persistence. You fell, but you got up. You wept, but you kept walking. That's the evidence heaven needed. You are not merely blessed, you are appointed. Every experience that broke you also built your authority to heal others. You understand pain deeply enough to guide the hurting back to hope. That's why heaven trusted you with this story, because you'd tell it with tenderness. Now, as you step into this new season, don't fear the unknown. The unknown is where miracles dwell. You've seen what your strength can do. Now it's time to see what God's strength through you can accomplish. The same grace that sustained you will guide you. You will never walk alone again. This peace you carry, this light you've protected, it will not stay small. Heaven intends for it to expand, to reach others still wandering in darkness. You will find that doors open where you least expect them. You will meet souls who recognize your light because it mirrors their own awakening. But remember this, the higher you rise, the lower you must bow. Authority without humility loses its fragrance. Stay grounded in gratitude, and heaven will keep pouring fresh oil. You are not ascending to fame, you are ascending to function. Your purpose is not applause, it's impact. Every day from here on becomes an altar. Every conversation, an offering. Every act of kindness, a ripple across eternity. This is what it means to live as one sent, not striving, but shining. There will still be moments of doubt, but when they come, remember how far you've come. You once prayed for the peace you're standing in now. You once begged for the clarity you now carry with ease. Gratitude will guard your heart when uncertainty tries to return. Chosen one, you've become a living message. Your life now preaches what your words never could, that light always wins. That brokenness can bloom into beauty. That surrender is strength in disguise. People will feel heaven's warmth in your presence because peace has made a home in you. You are the evidence that grace works. You are the living testimony that God finishes what He starts. The same hand that led you through the valley now lifts you to the hilltop. You are not empty. You are overflowing. You are not ending. You are beginning again. Brighter. So walk forward with quiet confidence. Not every step will be clear, but every step will be guided. You've learned to trust the unseen, to rest in the delay, to move when the Spirit says move. This is what maturity looks like, faith that no longer flinches. Heaven has already written the next chapter. It begins with your yes and unfolds with your peace. The world will know you not by your words, but by your radiance. The light you carry now will call others home. Rise, chosen one. The night is over. The dawn has come, and heaven smiles. Because you finally see what it always saw in you. You were never lost. You were being found in the light. And now, beloved chosen one, the story comes full circle. You've walked through darkness, learned from silence, stood through storms, and risen with light in your hands. Heaven has whispered every word you needed to hear, not to entertain you, but to awaken you. This moment, this pause, is holy. What happens next is no longer just my voice, it's yours. If this journey has touched something deep within you, let it live beyond this page. Tap like, not for me, but as a symbol, a spark of gratitude that says, I am still here, still believing, still chosen. Each heart that lights up becomes another flame in this constellation of faith. Share this message as one releasing doves into the wind, gentle, weightless, but carrying hope to unseen places. You may never know who will read it at their breaking point and whisper, this was for me. That's how heaven moves quietly, through willing hands. And if your spirit feels drawn to stay near, subscribe, not out of habit, but as a way of keeping your light connected to this flow of divine reminders. Each word you read here is another breath of heaven meeting you in time. Lastly, if your heart feels peace when you think of giving, let your generosity become water to this flame, not an obligation, not a payment, just love made visible. You are helping this message travel farther, planting seeds that may bloom in hearts you'll never meet. So right below, if you feel led, the light continues. Let that be your final echo, a covenant of continuation, because the light truly does continue through you, through every word shared, through every act of love that carries heaven into the world.